Yeah. Ghost, we make him fly like a ghost. If he want talk on the game, the heater gon' turn into toast. If he pull out and we spliffed him, he was just doing a distance. Promise we ain't gon' miss him. His soul gon' fly when we lift him. Bye, good riddance. Why is this hard her feelings? To the top on a mission. I got a shot, take it with precision. You ain't up if you ain't down to get it. Fuck your vibe if you ain't vibing with us. No, no, no. Bye, bye, bye. Clock him out. He ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. You ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. Headshot, knock him out. Ah, get him. Bye, good riddance. Sorry I had to do this. Sorry I'm being a nuisance. I just gotta get it. Hi, I'm Mary Jeans on my Louis V for the belt. 2 G's for the belt. Know the heater gon' make him out. Promise the heater gon' make him out. OD, niggas know me. I just move along with the hand I throw.
Yeah.
Hey everybody. Hey JJ. Let me do roll call real quick. And guys, my son is right over there. Again, it is my son's day off, so they are all home today. So you already know the drill. You know, I'm not complaining. This is my life. These are my babies. And so if you hear my son, just explaining why. Okay. Hey Welsh Rose, how are you, my beautiful girl? I hope you're doing good today. Happy being me, my sweetie pie. You thought it was Thursday all day, girl. Girl, I thought it was Tuesday. So we're even.
No. Don't be trying. No, I like her idea better. I want it to be Thursday.
I know I like Thursday too.
I want it to be Friday at 5 o'clock. How's that?
Yeah, oh, that's true. That's even better. Yeah, because tomorrow I gotta go into the city. I ain't too happy about that. Hey, Marianne Hope, how are you, sis? I hope you're well. Hey, Vera, my sweetie pie, my beautiful Vera. Hi, Miranda. How are you, sweetie pie? You finally made it to a live. I hope you're feeling okay, mama. Love you. Hey, as seen by a subscriber. How you doing? How you doing? Sorry. Hey, Bliss Chris, my sweetie pie. How you doing? Hi, BB from VA. How are you, my sweet friend? I hope I'm a sock.
I know, right? Like, so
that
funny.
is the cutest dog ever. Okay, you are definitely a sock. Alrighty then. Hi. I hope you're the kind of sock that just keeps feet warm, not the kind of sock that's trying to conceal something, but there's a need for all of those kind of socks, I guess. Hi, Susan Dawson. How are you, beautiful? Nice to see you. Hey, Mikey. Hola. Estamos bien, mi amor. How are you, Mikey? I hope you're doing good. Okay. Hi, Pamela Barr. How you doing? How you doing? Rabbit of Chaos, my sweet rabbit. How you doing? All righty. I think I got everybody. Ew, oh my God. Sound like a fucking 80s hip hop. That's it.
Gonna break out into like I don't know, Stevie B or something, or like I don't know, but
that was weird. So hi everybody again. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. This is part 2 to our victim mentality stream. We did part 1 where we talked about victim mentality all across social media. I've seen it a lot on TikTok. So I limit what I do on TikTok because of all the victim mentality on TikTok. Now, you probably noticed it was going to be an open panel, but when I say I'm just clarifying real quick and then we're going to move on. When I say open panel, I never mean open to the 4 people I've personally blocked. Okay?
4%.
4%, right. So those 4% are never welcome on my channel. Never. They could go to their channel, they could give their opinions like they do. You will never be afforded a place to talk on my channel. You don't have to like it. It is what it is. This is my channel. So I removed open panel. I sent the link to the appropriate people. And just so I won't be called a liar, I changed it. It is no longer open panel because you're not welcome here. Okay? So I wanted to say that. and we're gonna keep it respectful. If somebody comes in the chat, guys, who isn't welcome here, we're just going to boop them out. We're not gonna let them derail the stream. We're not gonna let them antagonize anybody here. Mods, we just gonna boot them. Use your discretion. Love you, mama. Use your discretion. Yeah, mods for a reason. Do what you gotta do. Okay? We're gonna say that.
So 4% wanted to be on open panel. Well, we don't know, but I can just say that there's 4% that would add absolutely nothing to Cindy's channel and what she wants to represent and, have real discussions and all. And there's just 4% of people that no, like they could do their own thing. We don't got to worry about it. I don't know why
Right.
they worry about us, but they
I
could,
don't know why they
just
even
go
want to
do your
be
thing.
here. Listen to me, okay?
Right.
I know, okay, let me say hi, Black Cat Music, my sweet Black Cat. I
He's
saw the
such a
other
doll.
day that he had a great day with his granddaughters. He said he felt fabulous because they
Oh,
doing up his makeup. He's just chef's kiss to me. I
I
love a
know he
man
is.
that
He's sweet.
loves his daughters, his granddaughters. I love that. I just think that's so endearing. So, hi, my Black Cat Music. And Joe, you just slayed me, girl. Slayed me
I
with
know.
hilarious. Hilarious. Love it. Hi,
Same.
Steven, my beautiful Steven. How are you? So I just wanted to say that because I'm not playing no games. Hi, Viva la Roca, my beautiful, my Stormy. All my peoples is here. Hey, Stormy Rivers, my beautiful girl.
We're missing our
Um,
J Fid and a few others.
yeah.
But,
Pam says,
maybe
letting you
replay,
know my
replay.
daughter's surgery date is set for May 5th. So we're gonna
Oh,
put
wonderful.
Pam's daughter in our prayers.
I have a surgery that day too.
Oh, do you?
I didn't tell you. Yeah, I'll tell you, like, yeah, I'll tell you after. But yes, I
Okay,
have a surgery. Yep,
okay. But we're gonna keep her in our prayers, Pam. And
absolutely.
and right before it, and on that day, we're gonna put up a post prayers for her. Speaking of that, there was an update. Terry Lynn did an update. Mims were her feisty self. The nurses were fussing with her, and she started scrunching up her forehead and opened up her eyes. So that is definitely a sign from God. We're moving in the right direction. So we're just wanted to give you that update. It was very, we were happy to hear that. So
Yes.
yeah, she
Could
was
you
not a
imagine?
happy.
Like, because it seems so bleak, That's the way
Yeah,
it seemed, like bilateral strokes, on both sides of her brain. And, she
exactly.
opened her eyes and,
Yeah,
was listening to Terry Lynn talk and, was getting mad at a nurse. So that's just, and,
yeah.
and was able
It's
to
beautiful.
squeeze a hand. Like, that's
Yes,
amazing news.
that
So
is
thank
amazing.
you.
That is
Keep praying.
progress. That is progress.
Yes.
Yes, we're gonna keep praying. And Vera, you already know, girl. Do it. Do it. I ain't even worried about it. Listen, again, my mods, I love my mods and they do what they gotta do. And I just don't understand the games. Hey, Patty Brunner, my beautiful Patty. I don't understand the games, guys. I don't go to anybody's channel that I don't vibe with to get on their panel. I don't do that. So let people just continue to show who they are. We did victim mentality. Again, we know that we've been guilty of things on social media. Excuse me.
Yeah. Heck
But
yeah.
one thing I've never done is played victim. I've never come here and blamed anyone for my circumstances or for my life situations or for any of that, right? We've all had times where we've had bad experiences, where we've needed a helping hand. And I think that's what community
Of
is.
course. Of
People
course.
decide if they want to help out, but I've never come here and laid my responsibilities at your feet and been entitled to that. So that's what we're going to talk about. And if people want to take it personally, again, that is not on us. We're not here talking about anybody specifically. And we said it last time, and I will say it again. It's across social media. I've seen it the
It's
most
everywhere.
on TikTok.
Everywhere.
Yes, on TikTok, it's running rampant. God bless you, puppy. I've seen it outrageously on TikTok. So if somebody's upset because we're talking about victim mentality, again, that is a them problem, bro. And I'm not catering to nobody, especially people I don't like. I'm not catering to you no more. I'm not playing that. People have the right to unsubscribe. You do. You do. Okay? But I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to do that diplomatic shit. I don't like you. You're blocked on my channel for a reason. Poof, be gone. Okay? So, hey, Fire and Nice, how are you, sweetie? It's
I'm
not
not.
letting me do the stream. Shit, can somebody tell her maybe she has to go out and come back in? So a lot of times that works, but she can't hear me tell her.
Yeah, we said that. Yep. Oh, hey,
Okay, good.
Shay. I
Hi,
didn't expect to
Shay.
see you, but I'm happy you're
How are
here.
Yes, love you, Shay. Um,
Shay
there goes
needs prayers too. There's lots of people
Shay
that
needs
do, but Shay
prayers. Yes,
really does. She does. Megs, and of course we're praying for Mims, and oh my gosh, there's so many people in need of prayer, and it doesn't cost anything to do that. And I do believe in the power of prayer.
I
I've
do
said
too.
that many times,
Yeah.
And I mean, people were saying, like Terry Lynn and Heidi, that we need a miracle, and we're seeing
Yes.
Mims be that miracle, really. She
Yeah.
may have a long way to go, but you know what? She's opened her eyes.
Yes.
She obviously can understand some things, getting mad at the nurse. So that's amazing news.
It is.
And pray,
and
pray, pray,
and
pray for our people.
yes, we're gonna keep praying because I definitely believe in the power of prayer. And Viva
Yeah.
la Roca, that was weird. So sometimes I usually try to catch Jen's shenanigans on Breezy Girls, but Breezy Girl is busy. She's not. Her focus isn't Jen. She catches it when she can catch it. All of that, and I don't expect her to catch it all the time. Hey, Bliss, Chris, how are you, sweetie? Um,
Hey
so
guys.
I was in Jen's chat, and
Hey, Bliss. I was
she
just
was,
getting ready to say we got to watch out and hear that like
Hey,
ding
yeah.
hold
or
on one
whatever
second. I'm
because
gonna leave and come back in.
Okay, Mama.
okay.
Um, so I was in her. You want me to put you down, Bliss, or you got it? Or she meant she was gonna mute for a second. I don't.
No,
You
I
know.
think she was going down and then was going to come back in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um.
Vera, girl, you
Yes,
honestly, Vera, and I'm saying this like straight face, and I don't like violence, but I'm amazed that Jen's ass hasn't been laid out by now.
I
The
know.
things that she's
I
saying
know.
about people's kids, I,
Yeah, man.
I'm like, it's
Bad.
just, and
Bad.
she's got this, like, she's like a sexual deviant. Like the stuff she says all has some kind of sexual
It
component
does.
to it. And
It does. Everybody's a
constantly talking
pedo.
about
Yeah. Yeah.
CM,
Yeah.
CM with kids, and like
Yes.
every kid has been M'd, CM'd or
Yep.
whatever. Like, I honestly, how does she have teeth? How has she not been laid out by now? Because
I don't know.
a lot of people don't play games like that. She needs to
Yeah.
just stop, stop,
Yeah, I don't
stop,
play
stop.
games like that either. And
Well,
that's why I
she's
didn't go up on the
violated.
panel. Yeah.
She's violated the RO and has court dates for it, and she's
Of course.
violated several of them. Two of her kids have ROs on her. That tells you
Yeah.
something. That would break. It would break my heart not to speak to my kids, even for a day. I'm like,
Yeah.
at least texting, checking in, something, because now both of them don't live here. So
Yeah.
and they honestly, they don't live here, but they text me all day. I'm
Yeah.
like, you might as well live here. Why don't you just move back in? You can ask me the question in person. It's so
Right.
crazy.
Right.
But, they love their mama. But yeah, anyway, that just set me on a tangent about Jen. But go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah.
sweetie.
No, no, I just wanted to say quickly because this is not about her. Um, but I was in her chat and she was like, "Oh, selfie, I'm not in the mood for this today." Like, what? I didn't even say anything to you. And then she's like clicking for people to come up. And then she clicks me, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I didn't decline it or anything. And I'm debating because, I don't listen to me. I empathize with her child. Jen, my sympathy, I have none for her because
Nope.
the things that she said about people, there's no excuse. So I didn't decline it, and then I'm debating it, and she's like, "Oh, I want selfie up here with me." I didn't go up. I was gonna go up, and I was gonna tell her, Jen, you gotta stop this shit. But the reason I didn't is because Jen was going to say something that she was going to regret, and then I was going to say something I was going to regret. So why would I do that? Why would I insert myself into something with Jen? That's the last thing I want to do. And I know
Right.
people be like, oh, then why do you click in her lives? Because sometimes I want to see the crazy train. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I'm nosy and I want to see the crazy train for myself. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I'm not
Most
in
do,
there.
and they're probably
Yeah, I'm not
lying if
in there
they say they
enabling her
don't.
trip. I'm not in there feeding her delusions. I'm not in there like, oh
No.
yeah, Clint is still marrying you and all that. I'm not gonna do any of that shit. It makes no sense. They're making her dangerous. Today she was asking for pictures of Clint's Facebook or of his TikTok so she could have pictures of his apartment so she could figure out. I guess he went outside and showed the back of his house. So she told Mike to screenshot it. People don't realize how
What?
dangerous this is. Yes, on a live a few minutes ago, right before I came here. She's live. Sorry, you hear my son. And she was saying
Shay, let me tell you, it is a rabbit hole. If you go down
it's
that,
really
it
bad.
really is a train wreck that you almost can't look away from. It's like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? Because she's live constantly and the cops keep showing up to her house, and you're just hoping and
Yeah,
praying that they are going to take this woman in and get her the help she needs. I will tell you that the effery that's going on in Ohio where she lives would never happen in Florida. For one, cops, if they show up to a DV situation, they are not allowed to allow both people to remain in the house. That's just the way it is. There's DV and it's physical. So it amazes me how many times they go to her house and do nothing. I don't get it. But
yeah,
now she's violated several times. She's violated it with her daughter, her son,
yes.
and she's violated it with Clint. I don't know. I guess there's two that are she has two court dates for definite violations, and then allegedly a third.
For
Nobody can
contempt. For
confirm the
contempt.
third for
Yeah.
contempt, because she probably won't show up, and you know what, that she's gonna get arrested.
She'll
That's
only
what's
show up
gonna
for
happen.
Clint. She'll only show up for Clint. She won't show up to
Yep,
fight the
yep.
cases for her
Didn't
kids, which
show
is
up with her
extremely sad.
kids. She agreed to her son not speaking to her for 5 years just so she wouldn't have to go to court. But for Clint, she paid for a lawyer so she can go into the courtroom and basically see him. She didn't do
Yeah,
it for her son or daughter.
no.
Very odd to me. Very.
Okay, so we're gonna segue into the victim mentality.
Yes.
We've been dying to
Yes.
have Bliss Chris. Bliss Chris put me onto an article, and Bliss Chris took a lot of notes. And because of Bliss Chris, I screenshot it. So before Bliss Chris gives her opinions, I want to read it because thank you, Bliss Chris, for putting me onto it. It was phenomenal. It hit
It
it
Yeah,
really
it's a
is a
every.
great
good,
site.
yeah.
It was amazing. But before that, I'm gonna do a little grift. This is my son just got a PS5. One of my sons, they almost all got it. Anyway, the only one who doesn't is one son. He's like, I got a PS4, I got an Xbox, why I need that. Anyway, this is God of War. This is
That's my
God of
husband's
War,
favorite.
right? God of War Ragnarok. It's brand new. As you can see, the back isn't scratched off. My son doesn't need it. He already has it. This is selling for $70. He wants to sell it for 40. I'm just bringing it up. And as
Hey,
you can see,
that's
it's not
good.
scratched. So if somebody wants it, I will scratch the back, take a screenshot and send it to you. All you need is the code. You
Wait,
put it
hold
in.
up.
What?
What's that for? Is it PlayStation
It's
or
for the
what is it?
PlayStation 5.
Okay,
PlayStation.
my son. Okay, let me ask my son because he might want
Okay,
that.
it's God of
Yep,
War, and he said if it's one
God
of
of
my
War.
friends like you, is 35. But yeah,
Okay.
he's selling it for $40, 35 to one of my friends, and it's the whole game. It's the
Yeah,
whole game.
I'll probably end up taking it because
Okay.
my kid, he loves all that shit.
So I
So
just said that I would do that for my son. Again, that money's not for me. I don't play them kind of games. I don't even play video games.
Cindy, even if it was, it's your real damn channel. Everybody else is grifting out here. Everybody else ain't even like
Oh
putting up
yeah,
real content and grifting. So
speaking of that,
Some some don't even give the prizes.
yeah.
that's true.
Get 'em from- Speaking of that,
Fired.
I have my Cash App and my Venmo running across my screen. I thought I'd give in to peer pressure and fuck it. Everybody else can
Do
do it.
it, girl.
I'm doing it. It's on my screen. Nobody's obligated. I'm not asking anybody. I'm not saying help me buy food tonight. None of that shit. But I'm going to have my links too. Everybody else is doing it. I'm giving into peer pressure. That's what we're doing now. Okay. So anyway,
Yay.
just thought I'd say that. So,
Okay. No, I think you should. I don't understand. I know that you got like this complex or you're afraid that people will say that's what you're doing, but sin, like people that are very, very, that are well to do and have amazing positions and jobs and stuff, they are constantly saying, and they do it in a respectful way that
Yeah.
it's appreciated but not
Expected.
required,
Yes.
or expected. Yeah. So good for you. I think you should keep that up every single live. That's just my
Thank you.
opinion. You're welcome.
Yay, Viva. I hope you will be here, hopefully. Okay, so let me show you guys and read this really quick. Oh my god, I still have some old ass screenshots. I hope I don't show no screenshots and start no beef with nobody. Okay. All right, good. So this is the first screenshot because I got some old screenshots. I'd be like, oh, it's starting beef. No. So this was it. Psychology, the victim personality. And Bliss Chris, of course, sent this to us, and I read it, and it was amazing. So I thought we'd just read it really quickly. It says the victim personality by real. Let me turn my camera off so I could get up close and personal. Anyway, by health psychology psychology consultancy, and it was October 26, 2012. Okay. I have been writing a personality column for Natural Health where each month I provide some insight into different personalities. Here is some insight into the victim. Does this sound like anyone you know? Inquiring minds want to know. Sounds like a few people I motherfucking know. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Individuals who habitually indulge in self victimization, also known as playing the victim, do so for various reasons: to control or influence other people's thoughts, feelings, and actions, to justify their abuse of others, to seek attention, or as a way of coping with situations. Although they can actually sorry, although they can actually change circumstances to avoid being victimized, they won't seize the opportunity because they want to play the role and appear as victims to others and themselves. The main identifying traits of those who choose to play the victim role are: they tend to manipulate, sorry, these numbers are so I can remember what order they were in, so ignore those. They tend to manipulate or abuse others verbally or physically, but then blame the other person, i.e., example, the real victim for provoking the abuse. They influence or control other people's sympathy to gain compassion or support. Okay, sorry. They influence or control other people's sympathy to gain compassion or support. They form friendships or intimate relationships with those who disrespect, mistreat, or abuse them to convince themselves and the world of their unfortunate status. They tend to avoid taking responsibility for their life, instead, blaming others for their mistreatment or unfortunate circumstances. They think and talk a lot about how others take advantage of their kindness. These are negative things about a victim. When in the
Yeah.
company of the victim personality, be on the lookout for the following: their crippling dependency on friends or coworkers for support and sympathy. Sorry, no. Their crippling dependency on friends or coworkers for support and sympathy, okay, can be draining, and you cannot be sure if they actually appreciate your sympathetic responses and efforts. They can evoke anger and aggression in you. Oof, can they? Especially after you realize you have been duped into giving them sympathy when it should have gone to the real victim of their abuse. They instinctively draw out the caring, nurturing, and protective qualities in people only to set them up for manipulation or abuse. Sometimes they will take extreme measures to get attention, like emptying a spouse's bank account because they feel neglected or sending hate emails to themselves. Wait, sorry. Yeah, to the sending, oh my God, sending emails to themselves and then accusing others of sending them. That is a real thing. People will send themselves DMs, like if people are harassing them, or emails, like people are sending them threats and harassment, and it's all done by themselves to garner more sympathy. That is a real thing. There's some positives. There aren't many positives to the victim personality, but two ways in which you might benefit from the victim are: They can make us feel important and valuable. Since they believe they are incapable of taking care of their own needs, they will always need your support with something. They long to be trustworthy and will make every effort to stick to their promises or complete any tasks you ask of them. Sorry, guys, we're almost done. Do you play the victim? You are playing the victim when you often justify your aggression against others by believing they deserve it. Refuse to take responsibility for your own happiness or misery. It's the world that's a bad place, and no one can truly be trusted. Find yourself in relationships where others mistreat you so you can feel justified in your victim role. You nag, complain, harass, and beseech others until, wait, what the hell? Until they give, oh, fruck. I cut that one off, sorry. Common turn, commonly turn to the phrase, you're the only one who can help me.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes go to extremes to get revenge for perceived or actual abuse, like destroying your own property and falsely accusing someone else of being responsible, provoking aggressive behavior from others, but downplaying or ignoring your role in it. Feel anxious about the very idea that you can exert a positive influence over your own life without the support of others. Okay, this is the last one. How do I deal with a victim? Initially, it will feel good playing a part in their happiness and joy, but after a while, you will start to avoid their childlike dependency. When you do cut ties with them, they will feel victimized and the cycle will continue. Remember that self victimizers play a role that has always worked for them. By empathetically and consistently challenging them, as well as emphasizing those non victim aspects of them that you like, a victim can be helped to change. An example of empathetically challenging a victim would be to ask a question that makes them consider their situation, such as, you say he became aggressive. What happened just before he became aggressive? An example of valuing the non victim traits of the individual includes statements as, I like it when, what is it? I like it when you show us your positive side. Sorry,
Oh,
guys,
wow.
I read a long time. Hi, Missy Tessa. Hey, Jay Tucker. Sorry, guys, that was a long one, but I thought it was important.
It is.
So,
And
anybody
it's
have,
true.
let me take this down. Sorry, I'm covering Bliss's face. Sorry, Bliss. So,
All
any
sounds so
comments?
familiar.
What?
It's just wild how many people I can relate that to,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
whether
So
internet
true.
based or real life.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I was immediately, you hear some of these things like when Cindy's reading and like people pop into your head and you're like, whoa, that's exactly what they do. And it's basically a form of gaslighting is what
yes,
happens. It's like,
yes,
you're doing this to me, 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 me. And it's like, um, no, you keep saying that, but where's the proof that people are,
right,
and that happens. That happens in real life. Gosh, I know so many people in real life that actually do that. Not close to me because, those people I keep at arm distance. As soon as I realize it, it's kind of like, okay, step back. We aren't vibing, whatever. And nobody wants a high maintenance friend. Nobody. And that's not to say that people can't um, share when they're going through hard times. Of course you can. That's what friends are for. But if it's a continuous thing, they never ever ask about you. It's only about them. Everything is some kind of like big life event or whatever. And it's always that they've been done wrong, and they somehow want you to fix it. Or, it's just, I don't know. I'm sure a lot of us
I agree.
understand.
I agree, and again, we've all, and I say all because we've all done that. Um, we've all thrown ourselves a pity party in one time in our lives, right? you felt sorry for yourself in a certain situation. Like, let's say you had a breakup and you were just beside yourself for a while, and you're like, oh, I don't understand why he or she broke up with me, and you just wallowed in it, and you didn't see any of the part that you played or possibly could have played. You only see that you were mistreated, how dare they leave me, and all of this stuff. I'm using that as an
Right.
example.
Right. We're seeing that with Jen Bailey.
Yeah,
Hello. She's
it's
acting like
good.
it's everybody else's fault that her boyfriend left her. She still doesn't get it. She thinks that they got
He
married
hasn't left
yesterday.
her. Yeah,
It's that insane.
in her mind, it's been 4 months, and he's on vacation. He went to work and has just been working 24/7. I guess I don't
Yeah,
fucking know.
she says he's getting help. He's getting help. Yeah, he's getting help, all right. He's moved it on. Four
Yeah,
months later, his ass moved on. He's got a whole apartment or house or whatever he has, and
yeah,
I don't know if he's got a girlfriend or not. Whatever, but he's living his best damn life. And
yeah,
here's Jen. Oh, we're married. We're married. He's gonna come back any day. And then she tries to nug. You better get your ass home. Like, you
yeah,
who are you talking to,
yeah.
but she's a big victim. There's a lot of victims, a lot of them we see, and it's always people online that are complaining about other people and how they're being treated. That is total victimhood.
Right, but do you think, and maybe Bliss Chris, maybe you have an opinion too. Do you think that so I have a few theories. When people play victim constantly, like it said when I read it, this has become a normal thing for people, right? Once they play the victim and they see that it works for them, they continue to do it because it benefited them in whatever way. Either it garnered sympathy from people for them, they gained financially, they gained favor, popularity, whatever. So they continue to do that. Do you think it's more of a manipulation, or could it just be unintentionally they're just mentally ill, or is it in an individual basis, like somebody may just be manipulative while someone else may not realize they're doing it? What do you guys think?
It's a hard call. I was actually going to ask you, I don't know how long this Jen is with you too, but how was she before all this happened? Does anyone know?
Who, Jen?
Yeah.
She's
The
always been a
same.
bad person. She's always
Yeah,
been a bad
she's an
person.
So,
asshole. She's an asshole that has a substance abuse problem, in my opinion, even though we saw it online, and also has a mental illness
Yes.
issue. And it's one thing if somebody has a mental illness issue and you expect people to kind of lay off because they can't help it. However, and I'm not a doctor, but some
Right.
of the stuff that she is saying is stuff that
Yes.
it no, like, this is not only mental illness, and even
No,
if it was, nobody has to put up with it. Nobody.
I
And she's
agree.
saying things that are dangerous online,
Yes,
dangerous, very dangerous, and
very
constantly
dangerous.
calling CPS and stuff on people. It's like this person is a constant nuisance and problem.
Yeah. And I agree.
okay.
And it's, people are like, oh, she's just talking crap online, but she's saying people's first and last names, right? We may not know who she's talking about, but does that make the impact to them any less? If I'm saying somebody's first and last name, let's say Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, Abraham Lincoln, you're a damn PEDO, and you fiddled with, your grandkid when they were in third grade, when they lived on Madison Avenue over there in South Jersey or whatever the fuck. I know that people from my personal life watch my channel, right? So even if I'm talking about somebody from my personal life that people online may not be familiar with, the odds are somebody in my personal life will know them. And does it cause the person I'm speaking about any less damage because we may not know who they are? I don't think so. And I don't think that it's fair to expect that, well, none of us know who she's talking about, so it doesn't matter. Would you say that if those things were being said about you, would you be able to dismiss it so easily? And I think it is mental illness, but I also think it's a personality, a bad person. Like, she has traits, she's a bad person. And there are a lot of people that are not so nice, right? That everything that comes out of their mouth is negative. towards other people all the time because they are unhappy. Something is devoid in their lives that they feel that they have to project all of that they're feeling onto other people because they only feel good when they're lashing out at other people. That is also a thing.
Yeah.
And then what happens is you lash out at other people, and when people, somebody's like, what the fuck? That's when the victim card gets thrown up, right? Whatever that victim card may be. Oh, like with Jen, we're using her as an example because she's like a good visual aid for us with this whole thing. People are like,
Right
oh, you
now.
can
But
see she's
there are other
doing
people.
not
There are
well.
plenty of people, not
Oh,
just Jen.
definitely.
We're not just talking about Jen here. We're
No,
talking
we're
about
not. We're using her as an
lots of
example.
people and people
Yes.
that you in chat or anybody on replay. Think about it. Think about people that do these things consistently. And also think
Yep.
about people that try to
Yep.
fool you and try to do like a oh my gosh, what's the word? It was on the tip of my tongue. Not bait and switch, but I don't know. I'll think of it and I'll say it. But go ahead, Sin. I'm sorry.
No. I was looking at what Missy said, and I agree. She said, for your information, you feel much better about you're actually working for money and not sad begging. And I agree, Missy.
Yes.
I think that that's the thing, right? Again, Missy has helped people out, and she's upset because her last time helping someone out was a fuck you to her, basically. Excuse my language. And JJ's also feeling jaded. That's the good word for Missy. She's jaded right now, with helping people. And
Yes.
I
Hmm.
could never sit up here, first of all, because I would be a hypocrite and say no one should ever ask for help. I myself have gotten help off the internet. And every time somebody sends me a donation, that is a form of helping me. You know what I mean? Um, so I would never sit here and tell people that they shouldn't, what they should and shouldn't do. But when you become entitled and expect it, and in place of actively working, if you're able to, if you're sincerely disabled and yada, 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 this doesn't apply to you. If you're able bodied and all of this stuff and you can work, then I think that it's important to supplement your income with this. If you are not a creator that is making thousands G money on YouTube,
Right.
this should not be your sole income, in my opinion, because your goals are unrealistic. And then you're
I
putting
agree.
all this stress on yourselves, which then you translate over to your subscribers because you're like, oh, I can't make ends meet. Yeah, because common sense would tell you that this is not enough to sustain a lifestyle, to pay your rent, to pay, I keep biting my damn lip, to pay your rent, to pay your bills, to whatever you have to do in your real life. And it has become so easy for people to just come here and expect all of their needs to be met by subscribers. And there's so many people that are generous and kind and want to help, and they're taken advantage of. And it shouldn't be a monthly thing unless it's memberships and stuff. That's different. But you shouldn't have to come here and cash app somebody every month because every month they know their fucking rent is due. Every month you know your phone bill is due. Like, it's not like it just came out of nowhere. It's not like, surprise, here's a phone bill. You know what I mean? Like for
Right.
Christmas, Christmas just surprises you every year. Oh my God, Christmas came. You had a whole year. Buy gifts here and there. Save little by little, $5. You know what I mean? In the off season, get something that your kid may like or whatever. Anybody in your fucking family on sale. Oh, somebody may like this, and stash
Right.
it. It's about
Right.
being responsible for your own life, and once in a while falling short and needing help, that's very different. But I can't imagine playing the victim, that life is just so hard, that life hits me with rent and I didn't know that I was going to have to pay rent, or I didn't know I was going to have to pay light. I thought that the light fairy paid it. I didn't know that I had to get gas for my car. I thought there was a gas car fairy.
Or those simple things will turn into, well, I could have done it if so and so wasn't attacking me, or I mean, think about it, Sin. Like, you some subs, and we'll take it to a YouTube level. You lost subs in the past, not
Yes.
anymore so much. Usually, if people talk about you, it ends up where you're gaining,
Yes.
even if it's only a couple, and hey, that's cool. We'd love to have them. But,
Yeah.
even on YouTube, it's the same thing. It's kind of like, oh, I would have been able to afford it if so and so didn't attack
Yep.
me, and I missed out on this revenue or
Yeah.
whatever, and it's that makes them a victim
Yes.
instantly of
Yes.
whomever they're talking about.
Yes.
The only time I ever consider myself a victim was only one, and I'm talking about online. The only time online was one time. One time I was a victim, and that's when I was a victim of doxing. And
Yes.
to be honest with you, um, it was almost like, okay, now you doxed me. Now what? Like,
Right.
okay, so I guess there's really not a whole, because I can tell you, you contact my family, and I'm tight, super tight with my family, very tight. They'll probably cuss your ass out and not reply to you at all.
Yep. Yep.
And you want to dox me? I mean, go for it. You look like a fucking fool. You look like a
Yes.
fool doxing me over something because you didn't like something I said. Or how about you dox me because you didn't like something you said and I
Yes.
showed it?
Yes.
I mean, that's just kind of the way that it seems to go. And people are claiming all the time to be some sort of victim and wah, 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 wah. But you got to realize they're getting something out of it. It's
Yes.
either the attention or money. And a lot of times on YouTube, I realize that it all comes down to the dollar.
It does. Bliss, were you gonna say something, Mama? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I just
No,
go on a
no.
No, that's
tangent. Go, Bliss,
no,
Chris.
that's
We want to
okay.
hear you.
I feel like when you guys were talking about Jen, I feel like that's an excessive example.
Mhm.
I don't feel like that's the norm because
Right.
she has like other things coupled with the whole victim.
Definitely.
I'm gonna put her side because I think she's like an extreme case.
So
I
you
think
think
that
it's more
most,
nuanced? You think it's more nuanced? It's more subtle?
yes, I don't know that Jen, like with everything else that she has going on, I can't say that she's fully aware of what she's doing. And that's not to excuse anything,
No,
but
no. I
other
think.
people who play the victim know exactly what they're doing. And it's almost like they do it so much, and
Yeah.
then that's just what they turn to, and that's what they know they can do, and it gets them the results that they want. So they continue to do it. I think that completely different from someone like Cindy was saying that had a breakup and goes into a funk for a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, if you stay in that funk and never come out of it, then that can lead to, being in that victimhood mentality. Um, there's when I was doing like research, there's four like main dimensions of victimhood that
Okay.
all people have in common. So one, they're constantly seeking recognition.
Yes.
Two, their moral elitism. Three,
Mm.
their lack of empathy for the pain and suffering of others. And then four, they frequently like ruminate about past victimization. That's all they think about because
Yes.
that's their game. That's how
Yes.
they gain. So they're
Yes.
constantly thinking of different ways. How can I play this out to get the best bang for my buck? Whether that bang is money, cash, attention, just like
Yep.
oh, I'm so sorry for you,
Yes.
So it's just there's different levels to it.
Yeah.
But that's the level I was kind of focusing on when reading like through a bunch of shit today.
Yeah. And I think that's so true because here on YouTube or on social media, as content creators and even subscribers, sympathy translates into money for people. And what Missy Tessa said is so important. And then I want to ask what something about victims. Okay, anyway, let me just read this real quick. I'm going to explain a fear. What if an older lady sending money that doesn't have it but doesn't want kids going without, so now they leave themselves without food or something? And there's people that have done that. There are people that are so kind and so generous that they'll say, you know what, I could push something aside and maybe not pay this, or they want to get themselves something. They've been saving for something nice for themselves, and they say, this person really needs it. They're on here saying they have no food, or their kids have no school supplies, or their kids have no shoes and or a coat, and it's cold outside. It's usually coupled around vulnerable people, right? The optimum effect is done when it has some sort of vulnerability to it. Because an able-bodied person like myself, if I come here every month and I have a catastrophe, people gonna be like, "Bitch, get your ass up. Your legs work, your hands work." So children are a good selling point, right? Being disabled physically, mentally is a good selling point. So that's why the mental health card is misused so much, because who can question that? You're an asshole if
Hmm.
you question the validity of somebody saying that they have mental health struggles. Again, this song isn't about you. So if you're sitting here thinking I'm talking about you, then that's a you fucking problem, because I'm talking about in general. Gotta say that for the 4 fucking percent. Anyway,
I mean, there's a
um,
few people that I'm thinking of off the top of my head that
right,
do that, and I'm not going to deny
definitely,
that. There's 100%,
definitely,
and it's very frustrating because these people will do this fake victimhood or become victims if you
I get it.
dare call out something that they say and do. Then suddenly it's like, oh my God, do you see how badly I'm treated? Look at this. I'm
Yep.
treated so badly, or
They're
how
picking
can
on
you,
me. Yeah,
yeah, they're picking on me. How can you, dare go against the person who is going through such tough times? Well, that wouldn't happen if the person would stop. Like, yes, there's a certain responsibility we have to ignore, and we do that a lot. I think a lot of people do that in life. They ignore a lot of things,
yes,
but
I
then
agree.
suddenly that too becomes somewhat of making them, they're hoping that to me, I'm starting to think, like, I listened to a creator recently that had said, you know people that constantly report on the same people, or not even report, say talk about the
Yeah.
same people, they're
Mm-hmm.
hoping
Yep.
that those people don't come back at them, like the Katie Joy stuff, because then they
Yeah.
could just keep going on with their content and talking their ish about these
Yes.
people, and
Yeah.
nothing is to ever be said. But once you say enough, I've had it, no more,
Mm,
suddenly they become victims, and they have their hands out with their cash apps and their PayPals, and
that's right.
you see it over and over again, and it's exhausting. And I
Yeah.
just want to say, people, be careful with your money. Be
Yes.
careful with it. I have to remind myself of that.
Yeah.
Don't just
JJ
be
does.
so willy-nilly. I do. I have
Yes.
to remind
Yeah.
myself of that.
Yeah. And I agree. And I think that with me, when I think of victims, right, not with the negative connotation. When I think of victims, I think of victims as being someone or people that have had something done to them against their will, right? A crime committed against them, a natural disaster, an accident. They became a victim of something because it was out of their control. Now, if you're in a situation where you're not being responsible, you're not budgeting your money, you're not taking care of your responsibilities as an adult, you are not a victim of anyone but yourself. You understand? And there
Yep.
were times where I misbudgeted, and there were external factors that interfered with me being able to budget the best way possible. But I did work. I didn't sit back and expected people to do it for me. There were
You
external.
also didn't lie. Let me add
No, I
that. You
didn't
also
lie.
didn't lie. If you needed help and you've ever asked for anything,
Yeah,
even when it made you look terrible, and I'm thinking to myself, please, Cindy, don't say that. Don't say that. Oh, shit,
yeah.
she said it. But you are so honest that I'm like, how could anybody be mad or come back at her? And that's why I. There's a difference. I don't know. There's a difference between needing help and then people using victimhood
I
as
agree.
their
I
way of
agree.
getting help.
And because everyone needs help momentarily, right? It should be, excuse me, when someone's in a bad situation, in my, and again, this is just my opinion, bro, but it should be a momentary thing. It should not be sustained by somebody else. You understand? It's supposed to be a helping hand to lift somebody up when they're down. But it's not a continuous thing because you're not entitled to that. You're not entitled as an adult. Now, I'm not talking about children. I'm talking about adults here. You're not entitled to have people and essentially strangers on the internet take care of your every need. You
I mean,
understand
you're
now?
an adult. Like
Yeah.
at some point, you gotta put on your big girl panties, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, and figure your
Yes,
shit
ma'am.
out. I mean, you can't go on like this. So that's why I think the people that go on and on like this, like, there's something else going on. I don't know. Something's really wrong in their life. I'm gonna leave it at that. But I think
Yeah.
the number two on my list, the moral elitism, I think that like when I read that, like I instantly thought of like a narcissist or someone who puts themselves up
Yes.
on this pedestal or like perch of like moral authority. So they're used to controlling others and they accuse of others of wrongdoings as a way to see themselves as supremely moral and ethical to those around them.
Yeah.
So it's basic, like I think it's like a defense mechanism. Um, whether they're trying to defend like feeling like painful past emotions or whatever. I don't know. I think it gives them like a skewed way of thinking, and this is their way of like trying to maintain a positive self image about themselves. So they just shit on everyone around them. Even when
Yep.
you
Yeah.
call them out
Yep.
Yeah.
for their valid wrongdoing, they will always 100% turn it around, make you look like the bad person while while playing the victim to all the really nice people out there who maybe don't know any better and just like think people are honest and going through a tough time. They'll
Right.
continue to have their back and stick up
Yep.
for them and throw money at them.
I
Um,
think it's important to look at patterns,
yes,
patterns of behavior. If you've seen it for a while and you
Yes.
continue
Yes.
to see the same damn pattern, it's like, okay, wait a minute. How many times can you be a victim of everyone you meet? You're a victim of life. Look, I'm a victim of life. I don't like working so hard. It's annoying. Okay? It's annoying. I'd rather be doing other things. I'd rather be listening to YouTube. I'd rather be out shopping with my daughter or having a nice lunch with my husband and son. There's lots of things I would rather do, but we kind of have to work for a living. We just do. I didn't make that a thing, but
yeah,
it's a
some of us
thing.
don't have the choice to just drop everything and take. I couldn't imagine just like leaving my husband for a week or two. Okay. Okay. I mean, I know people have to do that. Don't get me wrong, but some people take advantage of it. I know people in my personal life who have used it as somewhere to go because the family's just like done with them at this point. Like, I
Yes.
can't keep
Yep.
playing the same cycle over and over with you. Like, you got to figure it out. So I'm going to
Yep.
read this. I wrote this down. It says, when
Okay.
under distress, these, and whether the distress is usually of their own doing, let's just be honest. These people deny their own faults and destructive impulses and project them onto others. They view others as threatening while viewing themselves as being persecuted, vulnerable, but also always keeping themselves morally superior. But it's all a facade to protect oneself from pain and damage to their own self image. Unfortunately, doing this constantly over time ultimately stunts growth and development and stops their ability to see themselves and the world for what it really is.
I agree. Oh
Yep.
my
I
gosh.
I think that's, and
So true.
is it possible to be a narcissist? And we're not diagnosing anybody. We're just talking about narcissism where you think you're the most important person. We're not saying diagnosed a narcissist. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So when anybody says, "Oh,
Right.
they
Yeah. We're not doctors. We're
diagnosing
not.
people," no, it's
definitely
not what
not.
we're doing. We always got to explain. Anyway, okay. So is it possible for somebody to think that the world revolves around them while also having extremely low self-esteem? In my opinion, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
without a doubt.
right. I think so. I think that that's a possibility, and I think that that's why they play the victim. And I think what you said about projecting is a big thing, right? Because I know that I make mistakes. I know that. Like I don't lack self-awareness. That's one thing. I'm not delusional. I don't lack the ability to see when I'm wrong, when I'm saying stuff that's a little off the chain. I know it. I see it. I hear it. You know what I
Right.
mean? And oh my God. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's all right. No, no,
Yeah.
it's okay,
So
sir.
I wasn't even really, yeah, it didn't even bother me. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no, but I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, we see it all the time. It's the constant. And how horrible is it to be gaslit to where someone is using, you or any type of situation involving you, or trying to make it your fault that you've done something to them, yet they are the ones that are actually doing it. And that's what I
it's
mean by
really annoying.
gaslighting. And it's
It's
it's really
really annoying
annoying.
and it's really hard not to respond to when
It
you know
is
the
hard.
truth. That's something I struggle with to this day.
Me
Trying
too.
not
Me
to
too,
feed it
girl.
anymore because it doesn't help it. And that really bothers me. What bothers me the most is the people, whether it be family members in real life, subscribers online that are taking advantage. That's what bothers me because these people in this position, they have no objectivity. They have no care in the world. They put out PayPal's as like a mockery, as a joke. Like that's
Yes.
it's not
Yes.
funny. Like we are hardworking people struggling through a really
Yes.
shitty time right now. And that's not funny.
Yeah.
No, no.
That's
I
true. Sorry, go ahead. I'm gonna go run to the restroom, but can I just
Okay,
say
go ahead.
really quickly? I think
Of
that that
course.
is so true, and that's making a mockery out of people are struggling, right? They're willing to ask for help or yada yada to spite someone else when and it's up to people that support us to say that's not cool, that's not funny, that's what are you doing, like, and I think that that's all a facade. I think that that was a lame attempt at an excuse because, again, I said it last time. If I say I'm doing it as a joke or April Fools, I'm asking for 5 Gs, if people donate to me, even like $300, am I going to return that money to them and say, I was just joking, guys? It was an April Fool's joke. Fuck no, I'm not. So let's not pretend that we're not doing it for the sole purpose of getting some money, but we know that we've asked for money so often that now we have to disguise it as something else, and we're going to
Right.
use the collective mob mentality hate to garner
Yep.
that and to, you know what I mean, to put the fire under people's asses. Yeah, help me do this because we're gonna get that motherfucker, and you're being played puñeta. Anyway, good BS.
I would never ever donate. Listen, I've made a lot of mistakes being on YouTube. And I like to say that I learned my lesson and don't want to repeat them. I like to say that. And the reason that I say I like to say that is because I seem to keep getting burned when it comes to donating money. And that's why I tell everybody, please be careful, please, because you have a right to ask, what it's going for, who it's going
Yep.
to, whatever the case may be, and I've learned my lesson. I'd rather give it to the person who comes online and talks about a situation and owns their bullshit instead of trying to blame other people, or oh, it happened this way, oh my god, and look at it like it's oh my gosh, it's so difficult to watch people make money off of saying that you're doing something that you're not doing. Like that's
Yeah.
it's mind blowing to me. It's
Isn't
like,
that the
wait a
definition of
minute.
scamming, JJ? Isn't that the
Yes,
definition of
scamming,
scamming and grifting?
fraud
Grifting?
raisers.
Right.
And listen,
Use the
you know,
restroom.
I've said this in members only before. If somebody is looking for crowdsourcing as a way of funding whatever they're trying to do, if they're asking for money, there are channels out there, and I've said this before, like UniRock and Nate the lawyer. They work together. They investigate people who are actually, and it doesn't, they don't donate, but they investigate people who are actually asking for money publicly. Publicly, okay? We're not talking about a friend in DM loaning money, whatever, whatever, but publicly asking for money, and they look into it, and their rate of actually finding out that people have lied and it's been a fraud raiser is pretty good. And that's sad. That's extremely sad that people will go out there and ask for money from their supporters, pull out the heartstrings, you know, while they take a fucking nap 20 times a day and you're working your ass off. They want your money. Be careful.
Yeah,
Please be
I
careful.
gotta say though, JJ, I can't put a saint hat on Uni Rock for nothing.
Oh no,
Oh
Unirock's a dick.
God.
He's a dude. No, I can't stand Unirock. I can't. However, he has busted a few fraud raisers. He has, and it's been
Yeah,
proven.
I
And
don't think he does it for the reasons that like Nate the lawyer or I really don't know anyone else that does it
no,
off
he does
the
it
top
for
of my head.
views. He,
He's a talker. He's an entertainer. I mean, well, some people think he's an entertainer, but he does it just to be able to talk in circles for hours and to have content. I mean,
I can't
my
bother. I
opinion,
can't be
but
bothered with him. I can't be. No, no, no. I agree. He does. He talks in circles, and he
Yeah.
says he has proof when he doesn't have proof. But there have been a couple of times that I was following fundraisers, and it was not even really him. It was more Nate the lawyer that
Mm.
figured it out, that there were lies, you know, within, and that it was completely fake and false.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can't, you, as much as I can't stand him and his fingerless gloves, and I don't watch him or subscribe to him, there have been a
Me
few
either.
times that it's been caught. And that doesn't mean that you necessarily have to donate to be asking, wait a minute, where is the money really going? Where's it going?
Right.
We all have a right
Right.
to
yeah,
ask questions.
You do have the
no,
right,
that's
and I
true.
think that BX is definitely right. I think that he just regurgitates what somebody else discovers and
Yeah,
just
Nate the
rides the
lawyer.
wave. Yeah, he rides
Yep.
the wave with that, and
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't call out the important things. So I think that whatever. I'm
Yeah,
not a
he's
fan.
fucking.
I'm not a
No,
fan, so I'm gonna
neither.
keep it at that.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to be like me and like I don't hate the guy or nothing.
Be
Just
Yeah,
not my cup
I'm
of
just not a
tea. But
fan.
bought and paid for. He can be bought and paid for, so it's very
mhm.
difficult to look at somebody like that as a source, you know. But Nate the lawyer is pretty good with showing proof on things, and then
Mm-hmm.
Uni will just piggyback on that.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
saying that
Piggyback,
there are
that's a good one.
channels, yes, there are channels that do that. They do that. That's like some of their sole purposes is realizing, you know, okay, this person asked for money here, then there, you know,
yeah.
everywhere. And
Yes,
where did the money really go? Were receipts shown? And usually not. And then the person will be like, well, it's nobody's effing business what I do with my money. Well,
it is
technically,
when
it's
you
your
when
money
you
No,
now.
it is.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly,
people who have
exactly.
nothing to hide hide nothing too. So
Thank
if
you.
it's all 100 and legit, then I don't understand the purpose of not showing it. Is it just to spite the people that are questioning you?
No,
Because that's what they're playing
I
off.
agree.
I don't need to show them nothing. But that
and
goes back
they
to the
hide
people that
it.
are donating. Like they
Yes.
have no regard for the
No.
people that have been supporting them
Yep.
and don't like it doesn't even cross their mind like damn I'm kind of screwing over like the people that have had my back like they're just so occupied with their own victimhood. It just makes
Right.
them oblivious to have empathy for anyone else.
Yep.
Like they
And
always feel like they're being wronged.
yeah, because
So
it's
that
the
makes them feel
entitlement
entitled to behave this way,
title.
to
It's
behave like aggressively, selfishly.
yep.
They're like, I've suffered so much, so they no longer feel obligated to care about the pain and suffering of others anymore. And
Yep.
I just feel bad for those people because those people are probably really good people. I always say Patty in chat is like, she's so happy go. I don't know. I've
I
never even spoken to
know.
Patty, but she just
I
seems
Patty
like
love
Bonner, she's
her.
the
amazing.
nicest, like just sees the good in
Mhm.
everyone.
She really
And
is.
that's kind of how I
Yes.
view the people donating to people like this.
Yes. And
Yes.
and and I agree. It's Bliss, what it is it's the entitlement. And I think that because you people donate to you, right? And people don't question, so you become emboldened and entitled. And I think the difference is if somebody um if somebody donates to you, to your cash app, to any of your links, right, and just donates normally, then I think it's a difference. Like I've seen people watch other people's pockets, right, like watch their super chats, or even pay attention to when people will be like, oh, check your cash app in chats or whatever, and then we'll go and question that creator. Oh, well, they're getting donations, they need to say how much money they've gotten. No, it's none of your business. It's That's none of your business. You understand? If you have your links and people donate to you, that's between you and them. Now if
Right.
you do, or if you do a crowd fundraising and you ask for something for a specific purpose, and let's say that I'm like, oh, guys, my car is broken down. I can't get to work because my car isn't running. Can you please help me raise money to get my car fixed? And then people give, I get the goal, my goal, I reach my goal of whatever I said I needed. And then I don't get the car fixed. And I let time go by. And then I'm like, oh, oh, yeah, I lost my job, because people that lie tend to forget their lies, and time goes by and then they slip up. And I think then people have the right to be like, hey, didn't you say you had to get your car fixed? Why is your car still not fixed? And people have the right, because you said it was for a specific reason. I think that that's the difference, because if we don't speak up when scams are happening, we allow more people to be taken advantage of, and we become part of the problem. I think that's the difference. Don't watch people's pockets. What grown folks do is their business, but
Yes.
don't openly scam, because there's channels that their only goal is to expose and bring down scammers. You know what I mean? So it's a real problem
Right.
on social media. It's a real problem. And if you
It
don't
is
have
a
empathy
problem.
to think about somebody that donates to you out of the generosity and goodness of their heart, and you can still take advantage of them, you need to be exposed. You need to be exposed, in my opinion.
Right. And it's not the sub's responsibility to be paying your bills,
Yes.
whether
Yes.
it's, to get back at somebody or not. It's just weird tactics going on.
Yep.
I seen one recently where they said, after collecting a good
No.
amount of money and people donating because, they were a perpetual victim. I seen recently that the name Roadhog was used. Like, let's get back at Roadhog. Donate to me. He'll be mad. Like, what the what? That's no. Let no.
Because that will
I
incite a level of anger from people, because he's still a very polarizing figure. I was in a chat the other day and everybody was chilling and yada yada yada, and
mhm.
Bobby the cat was brought up, right? Because I brought up Bobby the cat um about the Britters video,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
right?
yeah. Britters, yep.
I said,
Mhm.
"Oh, recaps with Bobby just did a video about Britters," and so as they were watching it, somebody else was like, people that weren't familiar with Bobby were like, "Oh yeah, Bobby was involved with Roadhog and Katie Joy and all of this stuff," and so I commented. So somebody like took a dig at me and was like, "Yeah, Bobby needs to expose Roadhog and every piece of shit that ever supported him, yada yada yada." Like, girl, bye. kiss my ass. I can support whatever, say whatever you want. I'm not breaking TOS, and
Right.
you may um whatever whose chat you may go into is your business. This shit of policing chats is another entitled way to think. And people embellish shit, you know what I mean? Like they want to make this big grand thing out of it. And I always say that that can be turned around against you, because if we go through your history of who you've ever supported, you mean to tell me you've never supported a problematic creator ever? That would be nearly impossible. That would be nearly impossible to say that, there's certain people that have never supported someone who's done something that people had an issue with. Like, it's ridiculous. And I'm not conforming. I don't care.
No, it's weird. It's weird. And people want you to conform to that shit. Like, don't be in this chat, or it means that you are scum of the earth. Listen, I'm going to go
Yeah.
where I want. If it's a topic and I hear it and I got something to say, I'm going to say it. And I don't really give a fuck. Nobody's over here paying my bills. I'm going to go where I
No.
want. Just that
Right.
simple. Just
Right.
that simple. There's nothing more to
Right,
it.
Joe?
And I'm not gonna act like a victim. Oh, so they came at me. No, 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 no. I'm nobody's victim. I was a victim once, and it was a victim of doxing because I had kids living in my house, my
Yes.
family. You have
Yes.
no right to do that. It's
And that put your job
disgusting.
and your family in
And
jeopardy. It did.
yes, and putting
It did.
my family in jeopardy. But
Yes.
beyond that, no, I'm
And you
really
didn't
not
dwell
anybody's
in that
victim.
victimhood. I think
I
you were a
didn't.
victim for all of maybe 20 minutes when we were talking, and then you just got pissed,
Right.
and then you were
Right.
like, okay, well, what can they do now? And that was it. You didn't keep it
Right.
going.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. And Bliss Chris saw it. She was there. She was there for the whole thing. And I'm just like, I'm kind of more like shocked than I am even mad
You
or
were
anything.
you
And
were
it's
shell shocked. You
it's
were
like, am I gonna do anything back? No, because I'm not gonna. Yeah, I could do eye for an eye all day long. I could do
You're
that,
not a shit
but
person.
would it make me feel good? No, it
Yeah.
wouldn't make me feel good. It really
right.
wouldn't.
It wouldn't. And that's the thing, that people can have their opinions of us. There's people that whatever, right? We're the worst of the worst of the worst, sure. But there's certain things that we just wouldn't do no matter what.
Hmm.
We've been
But the
doxxed.
people prey on that. They know that, though.
They
So
know
they
They
that.
take advantage
do.
of it.
Yes,
It's
they
a
know that.
Hmm.
problem.
And
Yes.
that's a problem. But you know what?
We know.
I keep saying it's a problem for them, because let them keep showing that
Yeah.
they have no boundaries. Because I can't, like I said, some people may be like, oh, what the hell selfie talking about? She's the worst person on YouTube. That's your opinion. But when you look at it factually, have I ever doxed somebody? No. And that one time, that raking thought I hadn't. So that was
Nope, you
cleared up.
didn't.
Have I doxed anybody? No. Have I looked people up and fed information to other people so they could dox? Also, no. Because you could say, right, I never doxed, but if you're giving somebody's dox to somebody else, you're doxing. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
you're you're just a coward about it.
You're just using
I'm
a
just a
puppet
coward
at that
anyway.
point.
I've never done any of that. I've talked shit. I've called people few bitches. I had opinions that people may not like. And sometimes, where what JJ said, she tries to learn from it and do better. I also try to learn, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna fall short. I'm human. And the way I've tried to learn better is not involving myself in fights that have nothing to do with me. Because I did that when I was a member of
Hmm.
the anti-KJ community thing. Oh, I'm not. I used to involve myself in fights with creators that really I should have stayed out of it. And that
Yes, I
I've learned
agree.
that I've
Yeah.
learned from, and I stay out of that shit. Like, there's creators that I love, I watch, I fucks with, and they're fighting, and I want nothing to do with it. I'm
Yep.
not going to get involved. And
You
that
learn
means
your
Right.
I'm not
lesson.
going to shit talk any of them anywhere. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
And that's the important thing, is that we learned our lesson. There are some things out there and I'm just like, "Oh my god, why
I mean,
the
I'm not a
hell? I wish I."
creator, but
Yeah.
even as like a subscriber, supporter, especially when I first got into Twitter, I mean, I definitely fell into
Bobby.
that. Oh,
Bobby's
hi, Bobby.
here. Yay! Cindy
I
and I
do
were
not miss,
Bobby's first mods, and it was
yes.
amazing to be a mod for Bobby. And I could care less who Bobby is. I don't even want to know.
Yes.
I don't
Same.
even want to know. I
Never
think it's
question it.
amazing that they're able to stay anonymous. Stay anonymous,
Yes.
bro.
I
Like,
think so
have a
too.
good time.
And
I'm
I'm
so
happy
happy
you're
that you're
back.
here.
I'm happy you're back, Bobby. I don't care if you're he, she, you're a cat. And that has
Right.
nothing, that means nothing to me. And I'm sorry for ever even entertaining it way back in the day. I apologize to you. I apologized to you back then. I'm glad you're back, honestly. I've been
Me
watching
too. We
You
and
all
need
know
some
I am because
humor.
I messaged both of you right away. I was
yes,
happy.
Yes, she did. She's like, you got to see this. And Cindy thought it was like a re-upload or
yeah,
something,
I
but
did.
Melissa's
I
like,
did.
no, it's
No,
a new one, and it
Yeah.
it's
was
Bobby. It's
good.
really
And
Bobby.
Yeah, and I was
I know.
excited, and I'm excited, Bobby, and I hope that everything is good with you. You know, I hope that your cat litter's clean and you got your catnip and everything in your life
Abundance
is
of
good.
cat.
Yes, so I hope everything's good, and I'm honestly, I'm glad you're back, and I understand. Nobody tells Bobby what to do, what to cover. The kitty covers what they want to cover, and I respect that. Even if one day I'm a topic, I respect that. You know,
Right,
because
right,
it is
right,
what it
right.
is. You know.
Exactly. As long as it's just criticism and not
Yes.
downright hate. And I
Yes.
don't see Bobby ever do
No,
I consider him to be somebody who downright hate. It's like he does it with humor. And listen, when there's humor about me, something I do, like Cindy did that short, I was dying. I was laughing so hard at her short, pretending to be me or whatever. And it's, people need to have a sense of humor. God dang, man. Like, have some fun on
yeah.
this platform already.
I mean,
That's the way
Bobby's
I
the
feel about
perfect
it.
example of funny, healthy criticism because there's been quite a few times where I have not agreed with Bobby's opinion. Still leave a
Right.
comment, still laugh. Like, you got to be able to laugh at,
You
you got
have
to be able to
to.
laugh at yourself, people. Like, lighten up. Come on.
You have to
I
be able to
know.
laugh and not
And
take it so serious.
if a mod could please drop Bobby's link, you guys
Yes,
will love it.
please.
Because he has actually ventured into the 90-day community with
Yes.
Britters and
And then I
Deadly.
think that's an
So
important video for anybody who's not familiar with it because
he was
the
dead
things being
on.
said now are horrendous. Horrendous. And I said, again, when Mims is recovered, I am going to address it. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to, out of respect for Mims, we love Mims, that is our friend. I'm not going to address it now because I'm keeping the energy positive, anything that has to do with her. Oh, but I'm going to address it when she wakes up and she's recovered. But I think that he's always had a great channel. The kitty has always had a great channel, and that one hit it right on the head. Back in history, and just listen, just thank you guys for dropping
Well,
the
his
link.
last two videos since he's
William,
been back hit the nail on the head. He's
yes,
not been wrong on any of it. And I'm like,
yes,
oh my
ma'am, yes,
God,
ma'am.
somebody's showing the actual hypocrisy. Like,
Yeah,
we could do that too all day long, but are people going to listen to us?
no, because
Because,
we have a, yeah,
people will otherwise claim victimhood again. I'm a victim. Ah,
yes,
everybody hates me.
Well, you
It's
guys
not
could
my
be like
fault.
100% valid, but your face is on it, so people are still going to disagree. Bobby doesn't really
Right.
have a face.
true, true.
So
Correct. That's so
I'm
true.
She
all
is
true.
disturbed, Bobby. She's disturbed, and it's wicked. It's
It's
just
bad.
gotten way past trolling and even shock content because I was thinking a lot of it was shock content. The more I shock people, and I just think that there's something deep internally wrong there because I couldn't. There's no way even shock. Like there's no way that I just couldn't. But then again, that is just me. You know what I mean? So yeah, yeah, guys. So I don't know. I just really enjoyed that video, and it was true what Bobby said. Um, why more people aren't covering it, and I think, excuse me, it's because there are no boundaries there with her. But we did talk about it. I made a video when I talked about what happened to Angela Jade. I actually did speak about what Britter said about Angela Jade and the disgusting things about her husband, and I was quite heated about it. And I'm not afraid to dox me. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? What is she? Her thing is gonna be to call me a drug addict. Those things, she can't hurt me. She can't hurt me because I'm not a drug addict anymore. I'm not any of these things, and it's not what you call me that's important. It's what I answer to. And I used to answer to a lot more, and now I'm not gonna answer to people like that. You know? Hi,
Right,
Megs. I
right,
hope
right,
you're
right.
okay, Mama. Love you. Hi,
Yeah,
Yorkville. So good to see you. And of course, my Williamsburg. I always say Williamsburg because it's William, Brooklyn. Hi, William. Salute. You know? So,
Hey,
and
all right.
William,
So
Yorkville,
before
York
we went
Charlie.
not,
off
yeah, yeah,
on a
good.
tangent, we were
Yes, good.
actually leading into something really good.
Okay.
It's group level victimhood.
Oh,
Okay, this when I got to this, I was like, wow. So I feel like this
Group
more
level.
describes the online like presence of victimhood instead of the in real life, obviously. I feel like a lot of people, I mean, people that I've dealt with in the past, like they wanted you to admit some responsibility or express feelings of guilt to them. Like they look to that. But I feel like the people with the whole scheme going on online, they don't want that because then that ends that victimhood. Like, oh, okay, you expressed that to me, thank you. Move on. Like they want you to come back at them negatively to keep it going, basically.
yes. Yes.
So when
Yes.
I saw the group level victimhood, it's called competitive victimhood. It's a group that is completely preoccupied with its own suffering, can collectively level up the egoism of victimhood, where members are unable to see things from other groups, what they consider rival groups' perspectives. Therefore, they are unable or unwilling to accept any responsibility for nasty behaviors or harm inflicted by their own group. I was
Yes.
Wow.
like,
And
nail head,
Wow. Do we
wow.
see that?
we see that a
Oh
lot.
my
Yes.
Yes,
God. I'm
It
thinking
happens like
like
with
the
echo
whole.
chambers, right? With creators. They create these echo chambers where nobody's thinking critically anymore. You know what I mean? Like I know Storm, see Stormy.
I
It's
know
things,
you agree.
there should be critical thinking, even if you love a creator, if you've been with the creator a long time, if you've now become friends, right? Because there are parasocial relationships, but then there are friendships that are formed. You know, you guys are my friends. Like it's not a creator because I'm not a bigger creator. I got to know you guys when I was essentially a new creator. So you can form friendships then. It's easier. When you're a bigger creator, you don't know if people like you for you or they like you for some other reason. You know what I mean? It becomes a gray area. Stormy is just dramatic. Sorry. Anyway,
She
so
wilding out.
she is. So I think that
She
that's
heard
the thing.
Bobby.
Yeah,
She
she
heard a
heard
cat.
Bobby. She heard Bobby. She's a cat. But I think that that's the thing, and when you all just become fixated on that, all a victim or the person who you support is the victim, and the world is just out to get them, and everybody just hates them. That is not healthy because there has to be some level of personal responsibility in everything. I have to look at things and be like, okay, what part did I play? Like when I was reading that thing, they say that friends will ask, okay, well, he spoke to you crazy, but what happened right before he said, like, if I say somebody came, I was talking to somebody on the phone and they were like, F you, bitch. Somebody objective would say, okay, but what happened before that? What made him so explosive with you? You're not just going to take my word for it that we were just talking calmly and he just exploded out of nowhere and started calling me these names unless he's unhinged and a lunatic. There's something that, you know what I mean, got it
Right,
worked up to
right.
that level. And I have to accept responsibility in that as well. And those questions are not asked often enough. People are not put in those positions to look at themselves enough, myself included. When I talk about these things, I am also included. I am not far removed from any of this shit. But there's one thing I could tell you, I've never come here and said I was a victim. Never. I've never come here and said, I'm in my situation. I'm living with my sons right now because life is just unfair. No, shit happens. Shit happens. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Right, and you're grateful. You're grateful to be where you are, and
Yeah.
I'm grateful to be where I am. And there are some people that will just, I mean, honest to God, you almost have to wonder with some of these people, because I remember like Eliana Brown, the way that she got so many subs is
Mm-hmm.
because she was pretending to be a homeless teenager with an infant, a newborn,
That's
living out of her car.
crazy.
However, she was never living out of her car. A lot of
Didn't
those
Atari do
subs
that too?
stayed.
Pretend to be living in her car? JJ?
Talking about?
I can't hear you.
You hear
JJ?
me?
You're
You
low.
hear
What did
me?
you say? Yeah, I can hear you, but what did you say? Ari
Okay.
is another one, right? I don't remember her whole channel name or whatever.
Yeah, I don't remember her either. I just remember Ileana Brown, and it was a
Yeah,
big thing. It was like a scandal. Like,
yeah,
oh hell, she got
yeah.
50,000 subs for pretending to be a teenage mother at 16 or 15 years old, living in a car. However, that car was parked in her mother's driveway, and she was not ever homeless. And people contacted her mother, and her mother was mad and told
Yeah,
the
of
truth. Like,
course. Of
no,
course.
Eliana is not homeless. She
Of
lives
course.
here with her son, her infant. So there are people that just blatantly, and you gotta like listen, just listen to what people tell you, and they're
Yes.
gonna eventually out themselves. If
Hmm.
people are willing to spend money on stupid things, like, listen, I'm not against weed. Smoke all the weed you want, eat all the edibles you want. I
Yeah.
don't
Not my
care,
business.
Bottom
it's
of the
not my
priority
bill.
list.
Yes.
Right. It should be the bottom of the priority list. If
I
you're
agree.
asking for money from people because you're homeless, and you're telling people you can't eat, and you don't know where you're going to stay, and you're asking for money but yet talking about smoking.
Yep. Yep.
Well, where is it coming from? Like, there are things I would like to buy too, lots of things I'd like to buy, but
Right?
I
Me
don't,
too.
because it's not fucking responsible. And
Exactly.
I'm not even asking others to fund me. If you're
Yep.
asking
We're
others
not.
to fund you, be a little more conscious about
Yeah.
how many times you say that you're smoking, or that you're going to sleep, taking a nap during the day while people are busting their ass, and you're asking for their money that they're
Yes.
busting their ass for.
Yes.
Be a little more conscious, because you can't claim victim while saying this shit. You can't.
And just think if you had a group of people behind you with this, group level victimhood, it's like a bunch of people just enabling this one person. So they're
That's
Yes.
exactly
constantly
it.
getting what they want. Why would they ever stop?
Right. It's working for
Correct.
them. It's
Let
working
me,
for
who
them.
is the girl that you just, Ileana Brown?
Uh-huh.
Was that her
Yes.
name? How many of
Right.
those 50,000 subscribers probably stuck around after all that and still supported her because they were just so wrapped up in her story? And she came on and threw
Yep.
some kind of pity
A
party. There's
lot.
A
always
lot.
going to be a group,
A lot.
exactly, there's always going to be a group of those people who will stay behind that person no matter
That's
what.
right, Joe.
A lot. They
Like the
stayed
legit
because they're
definition of ride or die.
right.
Exactly.
And they never address it. Like, Ileana
Yep,
never
they
addressed it.
won't.
She just went on. And she's gained subscribers since. And we watch her mistreat her son, which she's almost raising like he's a feral child. It's gross. And
Yeah.
then, God
Hope
forbid,
he's not
when
lying.
Cindy and I spoke out about it, it was like we were the worst people in the world, because
Yep.
we're mom shaming.
Yep.
All this shaming shit needs to end. Listen, if you are a terrible mother,
Yes.
you're a terrible mother. There's no like, oh, you should feel shamed. You should.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this, it's strange to me. It's strange. If you're out there, you're sleeping with everybody, you end up with something, or whatever the case may be. Well, I don't understand that, because I don't know, man. I could have too slept with a lot of people. I just chose not to because I want myself to be. I respect my body. I guess I'll
Right.
just say that. But
Yeah.
there are people, oh, you're hoe shaming. No, I'm not. I love strippers. Okay?
Right.
Secret about me. I love strippers. I even love strip clubs. Okay? My 40th birthday, I'm in New Orleans in a strip club. They're teaching me how to dance on the pole. I'm a bony ass little thing, but they were teaching me. So
JJ, we
it's
have way
it's
too much in common.
yeah,
Yeah.
I we do, and me and Bliss did not see eye to eye for a long time until we actually had an opportunity to
To
talk.
get to know each
And I'm
other.
like, yeah, I'm like, this girl's so cool. I love her.
Because of the group mentality, because of what other people, what they said, how we saw that they perceived each other. Probably I feel like it really falls back on that group mentality sometimes. Because how many people in the comment section who dissed on you guys for dissing on Ileana were people that already disliked you?
True.
All of them. All of them.
True.
Ex- my
Yes.
point exactly.
That's so
Pretty much
true
all of
because
them.
I never thought about that, Bliss, about that part with Ileana Brown because it's
They will always find fault in everything you guys do.
so true. So true. They were already disliking us for something else, and that just was their gotcha moment on us. And that, like we said last time, when in the other victim mentality, where I said social shaming, and I know shaming, the word shaming has a negative connotation, but holding somebody accountable socially is important. You know what I mean? Like, you now, it's, you have to, like I said last time, again, like, you have to affirm everything somebody wants to do or whatever they believe in their minds, or you are some sort of bigot, or you are intolerant in some way or another. You can't talk
Right.
about a mother that is being harmful on the fucking internet, where she's putting it on the internet, because then you're mom shaming. You can't talk about somebody that's exploiting and taking advantage of their subs, using vulnerable situations, because then you're shaming them because of their situation. But this is the thing, the people that play the victim about that are the people that are actively doing that to others. You understand? Like, how can you play the victim that people are attacking you, and you're just, everybody hates you and they're jealous of you and envy you, when you are the one that is coming to poke people? And then you're mad when you want to keep poking somebody with a pencil, and when they take that pencil and fucking stick it in your finger, in your hand, you want to get mad. Like, it makes no sense. And those are always the
Well,
biggest victims.
I've heard Jules say before, and this is so
Just
true.
Jules?
Yes, just Jules, not my daughter Jules, just
Okay.
Jules. I've heard her say before, you don't get to start a fire and decide how it burns. And that's
Oh,
so
that's a good
true.
one.
It's so
That's a
true.
good
You
one.
don't get to continue to come at people, come at people, come at people nonstop and then expect them to lightly tap you. Like, oh, stop it. Don't do that. Like, there's a
Yes.
lot of people that know, like, mothers, that's a hot button issue. You don't get to come at mothers and talk about their kids and stuff, or they're going to lose their shit.
I
And then
agree.
people look at the person who loses their shit like, what happened? Like, oh, I see it now. I see it. You called this person blah blah blah, and that's awful. And but they don't ever look at what the person did
Yeah,
to
there's
them,
no
talking about the
research in the
kids.
context.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
You're
and
right.
that's
because I
hard.
bet a lot of those people who left comments for you guys, they probably didn't even know who she was before y'all's
No.
video.
No,
And
No.
how many of
they
them
don't.
do you think actually went to her channel to verify it for themselves? I would say next to
Ex- Exactly, because we were put on a clip channel, right? That somebody made just to come at us. And anyway, and we knew who the originators were of the clip channel, but that's
This is
whatever.
obvious.
That's another topic. Yeah, but you clipped a few minutes of a 2 hour live, right? You clipped us being petty, but they left out the biggest context of the whole video, the dangerous stuff. So yeah, we were emotional. They made it sound like we were just picking on her for no reason, when the big reasons: no car seat, you have your kid all over the car, while you're driving, you have strange people, men in particular, in your home that you're falling asleep with, and leaving these men around your child that is nonverbal.
Strangers,
These,
absolute
yes,
strangers. Yes,
serious
around a
things that we
child.
had issues with, but they didn't speak about any of that. They clipped 20 seconds or a few minutes and made it into this really big nasty thing, and of course it made us look not too good. Of course it does. And that's why it's important to see it in its entirety, because if you watch a clip channel and you may get a certain context, you're being told what they want you to see. That's why it's only clips, right? So they can give you the context of the video, whatever they thought it was. That's why it's important to come and watch it for yourself, even if you don't watch the whole 2 hours. Skip around through it and see if that's the vibe, the overall vibe we gave from that video. And it's usually not. It usually
No.
changes. Don't allow anybody to tell you. Gaslight
Listen to
you.
me, no, and gaslighting. And listen, when it comes to children, they're
Yep.
the priority. I'm sorry. Like, I don't care what
Joe
you've
said, what's a
been
clip
through.
channel?
Oh, a clip channel is just when they will take it's not even full context. Like, it sounds like you're saying something horrible, but they didn't get the whole couple of sentences before that or after it, where you're like, saying, this person, I effing hate them, blah blah blah, I can't stand them, they're this, but you don't know the context beforehand. Like, I'm only saying this because they did this.
Right.
So there's no context almost to clip channels. And that's listen, there are some clip channels that are hilarious, but I don't form an opinion unless I go and watch the actual
Right.
before and after, because I've seen clip channels do things and just show a portion or one sentence that doesn't give full context, and it's a completely different when you hear the whole thing. So yeah, that's
And
what a
I
clip
do
channel
think
is.
that some clip channels do it really well. And I think that it's what clip channels essentially, and again, this is just my opinion, right? I think clip channels should invoke in a person to want to know more or want to see more. And I think that's why it's important to link the original video if you can. I think it's better if you're gonna talk about something that you feel strongly about, to do it with commentary, like just Jules does. If she is going to commentate on something, she'll commentate on it in its entirety. And there's, a few creators, quite a few, that will do that. If they have an
Yeah.
opinion on something, they're going to commentate on the whole thing and do it, breaking it up, and so that you won't get struck, but with adding commentary. And that allows you to hear it for yourself with their opinion as commentary, but you're getting the full context because you're hearing the entire thing.
I like that, and I think you
Yeah.
have to take into consideration like the level of bias that person has. I mean, a
Definitely.
clip channel
Yep.
who starts being a clip channel because they just like a channel,
Yep.
they're gonna have a negative view of that
Yes,
channel. That's not
definitely.
something that I really like that BX does all the time. People straight up say in the beginning, I'm biased in this one. Like, this is how I feel. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
my best to remain
Yes,
unbiased
we do
during
Yes.
that
this
too.
commentary. Like, I
And I
wish
Yep.
respect.
everyone would do that, because
Yep.
if you're someone new and you're coming to a channel and you're listening, you're gonna think these people are awful. You're
Yep.
oh my god, they sound like the
I
worst of the
agree.
worst. Like, not knowing that person is just
100%.
saying, it's yeah.
We
I
say it all the
agree.
time too. We're biased. Like, there are certain people that, even if they did mess up and people are calling it out, it's like, all right, you can call it out, but stop with the whole "this bitch is a heifer," blah 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 blah, and adding on to it or whatever. If you want to call out the behavior, giving constructive criticism is very different than being hateful. And if somebody say, okay, I'm going to use it as I say things, because I'm not going to say Cindy says things because she's usually not the one at fault. It's usually my mouth that gets us in trouble. So I say something, and then Cindy, you know, kind of gets the blame for it. She might come to me and say, "Oh, okay, wait a minute, you should have said it this way or whatever." Or she'll come to me and say, "Yes, everything you said is 100% true, and people
Yep.
may not have been willing to hear it, but it's what it is." You know,
Yep.
and I don't claim
Yep.
victim for that. If I say
No.
something and people are commentating on it, I'll either apologize because I said something I didn't mean to say or I came
Yeah.
out wrong. And I don't have any problem with that. I'll apologize. If I do something to somebody, I'm not trying to hurt people. That's
No.
not my goal. I don't want to be on
No.
YouTube hurting people or constantly going at it, or because if I wanted to do that, we could very easily. We
Yeah.
could put ourselves in the line of fire. But
Yes. You don't think
instead,
that
we
there's
come,
people that we don't like that we could commentate on all the time, but that
yeah.
would definitely be coming from a place of bias, like because there's no other reason why we're gonna talk about every single thing they do. It doesn't make any sense because if you use that energy, there's so many other bigger things going on YouTube, right? There's a lot of creators that do things that are really, really like, damn, that was yikes. But if you keep making videos on the same person, I don't understand why others don't see it. And it's usually, and I think that that is Bliss Chris also where it comes into that group victimhood, where they're just so consumed with
Mhm. All
emotionally
consumed,
with
wrapped
hate.
up. Yeah.
Yes, they're so wrapped up in the hatred that they go along with it, and their common sense doesn't say, damn, this is a bit much. Like, why we keep talking about the same people in every damn live, in every video, every short, every community post? It's overkill. And you have to put yourselves in the shoes of the other person, even if you don't even if you dislike them. How would you feel if every time somebody that you don't like made their video was about you? Every single
But
time, and every
Sydney,
single
you
thing you
got
did.
to understand though that some of these people, it's not about that. It's not that they felt slighted. It's that they can use whatever they think they could be slighted about to
Hmm.
become a victim and
True.
to,
You're just an
sad
excuse. You're
fish.
just an
You're an
excuse. Yeah.
excuse.
Yeah.
You're an excuse
True.
for sad fishing,
That's true.
or, oh my God, this happened to me. And oh my God, I need, I'm this, I'm that. Listen, listen. I don't come from a wealthy family, okay? I
Yeah.
know the ins and the outs and things people had to do and make money and to be able to feed your family and stuff. I get it. But there's never been a time I was not raised ever to be a victim. If there's one
Me
thing that I
either.
am not,
Me
is a
either.
victim.
No,
Ever.
I
I
Ever.
was
mean,
not
most
raised to be a
Ever.
most
victim
people
either.
do the opposite. I mean, I remember from, I don't know, I think it was for Christmas, maybe my birthday. Like you guys asked if I had like an Amazon wish list stuff, and I'm like,
Hmm.
Yes.
never even crossed my mind. Like, and most people are like that. Like they don't. Not that they don't want the help. I don't know how to put it, but most people don't automatically jump to whatever they can do to play victim to
Taking
get what they
advantage
want.
of people.
I'm gonna get
Right.
what I want. If I want something, I'll go get it. Like
Right.
I
That's
don't
it.
need validation from others. I don't need others to throw me gifts. Not to say that there's anything wrong with that though, but
There's not. There's not.
No.
There's
there's
nothing wrong
not.
with it. There's
It's
nothing.
hard
I've
for
not
someone like me
received.
to accept gifts though, if that makes sense.
Me
I'm
too,
the
girl.
giver. I'm the person
JJ
that
too.
gives.
JJ is the same
Me
way.
too.
JJ
Me
is the
too.
same way.
I
It's very
love to
difficult for
give.
her.
It makes me excited and it makes me happy to give. And it is difficult. I almost feel awkward when someone gives to me. And,
Yep.
Kimberly Roddy Mom, I'll never forget it. Like,
Mm.
I got surprises at my door and I couldn't believe that I did. I got
Yeah.
a t shirt with a poodle on it. It's so
So
cute. So
cute.
cute. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
then some
Kimberly and
flamingo
Shay.
things. Yes,
Like
Yes.
even my
yes.
even my husband, he was like, he looked at this beautiful basket Shay sent us. It was like the fanciest of like Easter baskets, like you can picture, because I
Um,
don't get fancy stuff.
Aww.
It had all the fancy candies and like the dried fruits, and he's like,
I love
holy
that.
crap, like, who are your friends online again? Because
Right,
what are
right.
you doing online exactly to receive these?
No, my sons have asked me the same things. My sons have asked me the same things like, I need some new friends. I'm like, like, damn, mom, you have amazing friends. And I think that is it kind of counters the negativity and the people that take advantage of people, that there are still
Yeah,
so many genuine good people, generous people that have no agenda, no ulterior motives, want nothing in return, and
Right.
they are so kind. And that is what helps me to keep things in perspective, because some days I'm telling you, I watch things on YouTube and it hurts my heart and it makes me sad. And again, I know that I'm not innocent. I know that I've contributed to fuckery. I've contributed to fuckery,
definitely.
but I think that the good that I'm trying to do here definitely outweighs the bad. I know that I've looked through my channel and all the videos, and there's, you know what, I'm gonna show you, because I'm gonna show y'all, because I want y'all to see. I don't play the victim again. The only time I've ever felt like something was totally unwarranted, like even when people talk shit about me, I'm like, that's just YouTube. The only time I ever felt like something was completely unwarranted is when they came for my kids. They came for my kids because there was no reason to come for my kids. You know what I mean? Like, so that was an intimidation tactic. They thought they were going to be able to get me to shut the fuck up by coming at my kids, and it didn't work. um, but that was the one time that I felt really disrespected. Am I sharing the screen? Okay, yeah. I just want to show y'all because this is okay. I do a lot of videos, and I'm gonna show y'all because you can see, guys. You can see my screen, right? I
Yeah,
can't hear you.
I see
Okay,
it.
just making
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
I'm just gonna go through, guys. I want you to see if, and I know it's selfie queen, guys. So people gonna be like, she's so full of herself. Selfie queen. So yes, it's selfies, all right? For my haters and whatever people that don't like me. There's no names, there's no bashing, none of this. Look, through my whole channel. There's no names, no bashing, none of that, okay? There's so many people's channels that you look and there are their captions or their titles are just nasty, and it's about everybody all the time. It's Get Ready With Me, Sundays, Boundaries, I Stand With Jules, Cancel Me Fridays, same shit. JJ, cancel me. That's it. It's nobody's names in my titles, even my videos. They're not directed at people. That is not the purpose of my channel. Sorry. Stop abuse. That is the purpose of my channel. Again, I am not perfect. I don't come here and pretend to be perfect. I've talked shit. I've talked shit. Yes, I have. But that is not the purpose of my channel. And I wonder if a lot of these people that play victim, if you looked at their channel, would it look totally different? Yes, the fuck it would. Yes, the fuck it would.
Well,
It would.
and
Well,
I
they
think,
need those titles to have the haters, the people that hate the other people they're
exactly.
talking about
Yep.
come. Because if you go to one of those channels right now, you will notice that the views on those specific videos are much higher than the other views.
Yes, their hate videos are what gets the views. And I'm not doing that. I don't do shit for views. That's the thing. People, want to always take shots at my channel and at my views and all this stuff. But I'm good with that. Like they really can't get to me through that because again, I could do that. I could be a hateful bitch. I could be. And I could just target people, put people in my pictures, in my damn thumbnails, their names in my damn titles, and just talk hella shit. Like, what do you think? I'm gonna be worried about canceling me? Can't nobody cancel me but me. I've said that. You know what I mean? I could do that. Like, just come in and just talk hella shit. Fuck you, bitch. And the views would be crazy. Even if people started hating me, you get more hate views than anything. So I could get the hate views. I could do that. Me and JJ, what we would fucking what? Me and JJ would fucking be advanced at that shit. Just talking shit all the time. But it's not fun. It's not fun. And some people it's fun to them. It's fun to do that to people. You know? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was mad when it came to my kids. Yeah, those I'm not too proud of the way I reacted, if I'm honest. But they're still on my channel because, again, anything I've done, even if I'm like, damn, I wish I hadn't flipped out like that. JJ, is that you? Oh, it has to be her because I didn't send it to anybody else. JJ, it says device is not connected, girl. I don't know if JJ can hear me. You have to connect your mic. Oh, there you go. She added herself. JJ.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
here.
good. I'm gonna remove the other one then.
Yes, I'm here. Well, I think saying like, oh my God, I wish people would do their own research. I implore them to do
That's
their
right.
own research instead of just believing. And I've been guilty of just believing
Yeah.
people, and that's that group mentality. Like, okay, all these people are saying it, so it must be true,
Yeah.
and that's not always the case. It's just not. It really isn't. And I would, anybody that's donating money, I get it. Listen, I do. And I don't ever blame anybody for when I've donated money and I shouldn't have, because I
Yeah.
found out that it wasn't really used for what it was intended for. And there's nothing I can do because once you give it, you give it. And I
Yeah.
hope that everybody keeps that in mind because there are some people that do not care and they
Yeah.
expect you to fund their entire lifestyle. And
Yes.
that's not okay. It's
That's not
not. It's
okay.
not okay. The No, their whole channel should not be about a grift.
No.
I need this, I need that. Let me try it in someone else's name. Let's get back at this person. So donate to me. I would never have the fucking balls to do something like that. It's like, have you no shame?
Right. And I
Shame.
think
Get a
and
goddamn job.
and you know what too? I think what people have begun to do, the victim people, um, made their channels more personal so that if you speak about their content, you're coming at
Yep,
them personally.
yep.
It's the
Yes,
same where
I've
yes.
seen that shift in a lot
yeah,
of people.
where
Yeah.
they win, right? They get to come here and get sympathy, which equals money for them. And then if you speak about what they're openly sharing, the ridiculous shit, the oversharing, which I have been guilty of in the past, yeah. And y'all know I keep a lot of my personal shit private. I really,
You gotta have that line as
you
a
have to have
creator.
that line because you can't be mad if somebody talks about it and then you're like, oh, that's my personal life. That's all you talk about on your channel. So yeah, people, you're saying ridiculous stuff that doesn't need to be on the internet. Again, people share whatever you want, but then you can't be mad. That's why I no longer get mad if people want to addict shame me because I shared that here. There's nothing I could do about it.
Hmm.
What I'm gonna do? You serve everybody with a TPO? Stop talking about me. Like I can't do that. You
Okay, Jen
can't.
Bailey.
I know. I'm gonna give you all C and D's, cease and desist. Don't talk about me. No, that's an
And it's
entitled
really
attitude.
pointless because you're
It is
very strong in
pointless.
your recovery. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
I
is that all
get
you
it.
got? Like,
Right.
kind of weak.
Like try again. Yeah, like try again. Ooh, Sophie, she was a drug addict. She's a felon. Like, yeah. The only reason you know that is because I told you. So and then when I started realizing that in my own head, like Cindy, the only reason they could weaponize that against you is because you shared it. Why do you care? You dumped it, and that's the same thing when I used to go to groups, recovery groups. If I dump it, that's just like an analogy. You go to the restroom, you use the toilet, right? You're not going to pick it back up and analyze it. You dump it, you flush it, you let it go. I come here, I shared that with you. I let it go. Somebody else wants to go in the toilet or wants to go through the sewer and dig through it and smell like crap all day, then let them. Let them smell like crap all day. That is not me. It's
Yeah.
gone. It's not a part of me. I've released it. So I'm not
Right.
dwelling on
And
it.
but the only time that irks me, like, I don't care. I don't care about people's opinions and all. And I don't care that they are getting AdSense for those opinions. What
Yeah.
bothers me is when they are
Love you, Joe.
blatantly lying on
Um,
someone else's name
yep.
to get donations. Like,
Yes,
that's not
exactly.
okay. And then what
No.
do you do? Because if you speak up, it's like, oh, you're trying to hurt somebody who has nothing,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
You're trying to
in
keep them
reality, it's like
down. Like,
you,
no, no, but
right. You
don't
can't,
lie on us
no,
for,
no.
for you to level up and take advantage of people's kindness. Don't do that. Don't openly lie on us and we're supposed to stay quiet because no, I'm sorry guys. When is it time for somebody to pick themselves up out of a bad situation? Is there a certain time limit for certain people? Because again, I'm not here playing victim, I'm stating facts. I am also displaced and I've never come here and said, oh my God, poor me. No, I'm blessed. You know,
You
um,
sleep on a couch. You
yeah, and
sleep
I'm
on a couch
happy.
and
And I'm
you don't
happy.
ask for people. Yes, and you don't ask people for money or to pay for you for first,
No,
last, and security.
I'm not
And
doing that.
if
No.
that ever did happen, you would prove it. And there's no doubt.
And people
Sorry.
said, Cindy, we
It's
would
just the
help you
way it
with that,
is.
but that's not a fucking thing.
And
That's
not only that, Cindy, if you just tomorrow magically turned into this like crazy grifting lunatic, me and JJ are gonna call your ass out.
good.
Like, why don't these people have any people
Yes.
in their life
Good.
to call them the fuck out?
Yes, you
I
need
You know
think
what?
they
people.
I
do
actually
though, Bliss
challenge.
Chris.
Yeah, but they're not in their life long after that. I can guarantee you. But I think the people that are donating and are supporting, just I challenge you to stop. Just for if you don't even
Mm,
believe us, just stop. Just for a month, few weeks, see
and
what
see if
happens.
it'd be that important
Just see what
anymore.
happens.
Yep.
Just a challenge.
That's a
Right.
good one. That's a
Right.
good one.
It
Yep.
yes, it's easy to manipulate somebody else who may be having a hard time, but yet they still are financially secure, or maybe not so financially secure, but they can spare a few bucks or whatever. You
Yeah.
know, I implore those people to stop doing it and
Yep.
see how that person treats you.
Yes.
See,
Exactly.
are
Yes.
they still cool with you? Are they still
Yes.
good with you? Because
Yep.
we see it
A lot.
a lot, and it is
Yep.
heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. It's like it's the same with me. I'm sure people were probably like, I wish I could shake her. I wish she'd see this and that
Yeah.
and that.
Yeah.
You don't see it until you see it. And I will admit that I have been, you know, a part of that.
Yeah.
I've believed people. I
Yeah.
blindly believed people and supported them, whether it monetarily or with gifts or just even viewing and giving them, positive affirmations. But when somebody pretends to give, oh, it drives me crazy. Like the
Yeah.
whole what is it called, reverse psychology, the reverse
Hmm.
psychology of it all, right? Because I
Yeah.
remember Cindy one time saying, just watch, like, to take us out of it, just watch what's going on, like
Hmm.
take a step out of the circle
Take the
and
hate out
see
of your
what's
heart
going
for
on.
Yes.
whoever that person's talking
Yes.
about. Just put it to the side just
Right.
for a second and just
just
just see it for
just
what
Observe.
for
it
a
is.
second, just
God
look,
almighty, just see it.
just observe who is
Hmm.
actually doing what. And I'm sorry, but the whole reverse psychology of everybody sees it. Everybody sees that they keep messing with me. Everybody sees that they. No, no, honey, nobody is. That reverse psychology,
That's subliminal messaging.
bullshit,
That's like
it
indoctrination.
doesn't work.
You know,
Right. It doesn't work over here. It
that's
doesn't. So
gaslighting.
I
stop
don't even
it.
think
We
they
see the
care that it
thing.
works. Sometimes I think they just say it for themselves too.
Yes, to
Like
convince
that's something they
themselves.
tell
Hmm.
themselves over and
Yeah.
over. I actually have to head out, but I'm going to read this one last thing that I wrote,
Okay.
and it kind of just sums up
Okay.
like the person in the victim mentality. So they constantly talk about their problems, their causes and consequences, rather than think about or discuss possible solutions. This allows them to stay in a revolving door of perpetual victimhood. It also decreases their motivation for forgiveness for oneself or others, while increasing their drive to seek revenge on those they think have like done them wrong.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because why
Yeah.
they're not looking for solutions because they don't want this cycle to end. Why would they want to take care of themselves when it's become so easy? It's one click, right? You come here, you go live or you record a video and you have people sending you virtual money, like it's instantaneous. Why would someone choose to have to better themselves when they become so used to having others do it for them? It
Yeah.
becomes a problem. It
Right.
becomes a problem.
Right.
Yeah, that's so right.
And Bliss,
Yes,
I always,
yes,
I
BX. Yep.
always love it. You know, whenever I get to talk to you, I love it, and I'm so glad that you
I
were
do
on
too.
panel. I
Oh,
Yes.
gotta
me
go
too.
too,
Thank you
but
guys for
I
having
No,
me.
you
adore
should do the
you.
right
And
because if you drop, you end my stream, girl. Wait a minute, JJ. Goddamn.
I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna drop. I'll wait. I'll wait.
Okay, yeah,
I'll
because
just
I'm
be
gonna
quiet.
end
But
too. I'm gonna end. I just wanted
Read
to
that
say,
out. Read that out, and then
yes,
we can
I am.
end
I
because I
wanted to
think
read
that
what
needs to be
BX
said out
said.
loud.
BX said, I've done content for months while not being monetized. It's about service. Do it because you love it, want to be there for your supporters. Money will come eventually if you grind. And that's the important,
yeah,
BX has been doing this for a long time. And BX, I thank you
right.
for being here. I'm hoping me and BX are going to do a little collab next week. I was going to keep it a secret, but I
Yay!
really am looking forward to that, a one-on-one conversation with BX. He is a bigger creator.
I
He's been
love
doing
it.
it for a long time. And I really just want to hear his perspective on YouTube and all of that. And he has this brand that he's created for himself that regardless of people that are, haters, you can't help but think of his brand. Fang Gang, you think of BX. That is ingenious. Whether you like him or not, even people that don't like him are using his slogan, his brand, his, name of his supporters. And there's one thing you could never say about BX is that he is not loyal as fuck to his supporters. He is.
Fact.
And that is something to be respected. And he is not monetized and he still does multiple
No,
lives,
he is now.
multiple oh, he is good.
Yeah,
Okay.
he wasn't. I think it was for like 3 months. He wasn't, and
Damn.
that
What
man put out more
Damn.
videos in those 3 months than I didn't
Mhm.
even think was humanly possible. I'm like behind the scenes, like
What, my
yelling at him
notifications go crazy with
to
BX.
rest. Just
Oh,
just take a little break. And he's like, no, the grind don't stop. Like, don't stop.
no,
He's
it
like the
doesn't.
energizer back.
It
Keep
doesn't
it
because
going.
he's smart and he knew you have to keep building to keep you want to keep yourself so that when you do become monetized, you don't lose the rhythm of it and you don't want to lose being in the algorithm either. And it's about a work ethic. It's about having a work ethic, a consistent work ethic.
And
And
staying true to
Yeah.
yourself. That man would never sell out. You can
yes,
say what you want about him, you can think what you think about him, but
that's
he
right.
keeps it 100% of the time.
Yes,
And he's
that's
building
true.
like that. And I think the same way for you, Cindy, like you both are building a solid network of awesome, like 100 legit supporters, not
Yes.
people who come here because
Yay!
they know that you hate this person, or
Yep.
you guys actually have like really awesome like supporters, and it's just
I
really
agree.
cool to
Thank
be a
you.
part of it.
We do.
That come no matter what we
Thank
talk
you.
about. That's a blessing. That's a privilege. You know what I mean? Like that
Yes.
people don't just come like, oh, they're not dragging somebody. Peace. They come to hear whatever we talk about and we interact with each other, and that's a fucking blessing. And I'll never take that for granted because that is you're building a strong foundation where people fucks with you because they fuck with you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that that's more important than having a hate-based channel that people come for that because that may serve you short term, but it's not going to serve you long term. It's not. And I think that that's the most important thing. And I wanted to say to Happy, yes, Shay
Happy,
did
yes.
send a pallet to you. I put in the tracking number and it still says they're waiting for the shipment. So as soon as I get it, I will DM you Happy and say the pallet is here. Let's get it to you. And Shay, thank you for that because I'm waiting for my pallet too. I'm like waiting for that shit like a savage and a beast. I'm waiting for it. But yes, so thank you, Shay. She did send. It's a beautiful palette too. Happy. I think you're gonna really love it. It's a
I
new.
want to send a palette too, but I don't.
Fang Fang,
Happy,
that's right.
let me know if I can have your address. I promise. I promise. I don't
Yeah, she would.
dox, but I
JJ would never
understand
do
if
that.
you want to give it to me. I don't do that. Even when I
That's
was
right.
doxxed, I didn't dox back, and I could have, and I
Yes.
just wouldn't. I wouldn't feel
No.
good about putting somebody else's family at risk.
Yay,
But
Steven.
if you can message me your
Yeah.
address, I would like to send you something too.
Yes.
Yes.
JJ wants to send you a pallet, girl. Listen, listen, listen. So,
Uh huh.
I would like to donate to said pallet JJ is sending because I can say I'll send something and Lord, I couldn't tell you when I'm gonna make it to the post office. I ain't playing those games with no
right.
one. So I will gladly
I
cash app
know,
JJ something
right?
that she can send.
That's right. That's
I'm
right. And
just a procrastinator. It's not because I'm an asshole and I don't want to
no,
send
you're
you
not.
what I
You're
said I'm
not
going to
an
send you.
asshole.
I just
And I
procrastinate.
want to send her something too. Maybe send her some other makeup thing to go with the palette.
Yeah,
We'll
that's what I
figure
was
it out.
thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll figure it
we'll
out.
talk
Send her
about it.
something to go with it. Yeah. What she said, where does she message you, JJ? I'm
You
happy
can
to say where
message
does
me
she
on Twitter or IG,
Yeah,
Twitter
if you
or
don't have
IG
Twitter,
if
you
you
can
have
message
one,
her on IG.
or wait, Sin, do you have her address?
No, I don't have her address, but I have her on IG. So if she gives
Okay.
it to me, maybe I could give it to you if it's okay with her. I'll DM her
Yeah,
and let her
as
know
long as she's
if
okay
she's
with it.
here. So yeah, then I can just give it to you, her address, if that's okay with her. It's been
Yeah, I
shipped,
would love that. I
not
would love that.
processed. I know it says it's been shipped, but they says they're waiting on the item because I checked it today too. And it's weird. It's been shipped, but I don't know. The post office probably still hold. I don't know. It's weird. But as soon as it comes in, Shay bought it on the third. So it's the post office or somebody else is screwing up. But Shay did order it and she sent me all the
Yeah.
information and I was able to look it up and stuff. Yes. Yes, happy. And not really your last name. As long as your address, doesn't have a
Right.
problem with
Yeah.
that.
I don't even need a real name. I can
Yeah.
send it to Happy
We could send it to
being
happy.
me. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but you don't have to worry. We don't give out names. We don't do that. We don't do that ever, ever, ever,
Never. Never.
never. So,
No
I thank
matter
you
what's
guys.
done to me, I
Yeah,
wouldn't
no, we
feel
don't do
good
that.
about putting somebody else's family or themselves at risk. I just wouldn't. But
Never. And just violating
nope.
somebody for what? For what? You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not a thing. Like, that's some
Right.
Not
bullshit.
who we are.
We just don't have to do that. So, thank you, Bliss, for being here tonight. I love when you come up here, my girl.
Yes. Thank
And
you.
Thank
yeah,
you guys. Thank you for having me, and thanks to BX for coming into chat because
yes,
I
thank
know
you,
I'm
BX.
not saying all
Yeah.
the reason he's here is because of me. That's not what I'm
No,
saying.
but
But
thank
he
you. But
fucking
thank
rocks
you.
with his supporters, and I know him being here was in
And he has a
support
lot of
of,
Well,
supporters
and
in
here.
part, supportiveness. So
Yeah.
thank you.
yes, yes, and you've
All right,
been
guys.
very
I'll catch.
supportive, and I love it
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
that he's here for you too. So that's awesome. And I gotta go too. My husband's
Yeah.
like wanting all
We're gonna get
cuddle
off,
and stuff,
guys.
so I
Thank
gotta.
you. Yeah, thank you for being here tonight. I'm going to talk to BX and hopefully it'll be next Wednesday. But we will see you guys.
Yay!
Today is Wednesday. Hopefully, me and JJ will be back Friday for our Friday. I love you guys. I thank you
That's
guys for
right.
being here. If you could please hit that like
Thank
button,
you.
the YouTube things. Love you guys, and I hope you guys have a great evening. Thank you all for being here. Like always,
Bye,
te quiero,
guys.
te adoro, all that good stuff. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Have an
guys.
amazing night. Oh, cool, BX. We'll see you next Wednesday then.
Yes. Yay. Okay,
Bye.
good. Next Wednesday.